Hello once again, it's Musa, and I couldn't be more excited to share this league with you. Do you play in your local game store and there's tons of Jeskai Control, Jeskai Bling and all that? I've got you. This league is a masterpiece on how elves can beat Jeskai Control, Jeskai Bling. I'm very excited to share this league. So if you want, keep on watching. Before I start the video though, I would like to ask you to go to the description box of the video, and here you'll see a Patreon, a Twitter, and other ways that you can find me. The Patreon is for free. I would appreciate though if more people joined. I'm going to share articles there regarding all my thoughts regarding elves and anything else that I believe it's relevant. I have a reason that I want to do that, and I started doing that. It's not to make money out of you guys. I have a plan, and I'm trying to fulfill it in my very little free time. That's it for now. Let's start with the games. Round number 1, unknown opponent. That's a great hound, isn't it? Llanowar Elf, Sylvan Safekeeper for protection. Pinnacle Emissary. It's Affinity. It's not the best hand I could have against Affinity, but I'm fine with it. I do have a Sylvan Safekeeper to protect, Priest of Titania to create mana, and two double tutors in the face of a Nature's Rhythm. The caster 10 to Kappa Cannoneer. Any other deck would be terrified. Not Elves though. I can easily kill them on turn 3 if I want to. And I do have a Bossage in hand that can actually kill the Kappa, so I'm safe. 1, 2. They're going to cast Metallic Rebukes. As I've said before, as you might have seen before, I'm always playing around Metallic Rebuke when it comes to Affinity, so I'm fine with that. I'm paying for the 3 extra tax cost, and I'm just going for it. I'm just passing the turn. I decided to go for Nature's Rhythm, for Devoted Druid with my Nature's Rhythm, because who has time to math, let's be honest. There's no reason to try to math. So Devoted Druid, Nature's Rhythm, Azuri, I'm going to finish the game without adding and subtracting anything. You know what's going to happen now. I'm going to bounce back my land, untap Priest of Titania, Bossage you that Kappa Cannoneer. That's a great feeling, actually. They have 0 cards in hand. And going to my turn in order to finish them off. The opponent did have a Torpmok script in order to take away my graveyard. They played it very correctly. But unfortunately for them, fortunately for me, I did have a second Nature's Rhythm in hand in order to go off from there. The opponent was kind enough to concede. They knew what was happening. Let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 against Affinity. The sideboarding, you should know by now. I keep a hand with Sylvan Safekeeper and Oof. That's the reason I actually kept the hand. I thought that if I can protect my Oof, I actually have a huge chance of winning the game. They have a very, 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 very fast hand. So here, I have to cast Collector Oof this turn. I'm going to attack because I can't do anything. The only card that can actually kill me right now is Whip Flare. So far, they have no red mana, so I am safe. If you see the opponent has no red mana. So I have to find a way to finish the game fast. And actually, what I could have done here, I could have cast a Disruptor Flute proactively in their turn in order to name Whip Flare. That was a huge mistake of mine, by the way, and it's not the first time I'm doing it. I forgot to fetch in response to them tutoring with their as a saga, and I wasn't able to do anything. It was a choice of mine. I chose to, because they were lacking red mana, I chose to progress my game by casting Llanowar Elves, as well as Heritage Druid, instead of proactively casting a Disruptor Flute in their upkeep, in order to prevent them from casting Whip Flare in their turn, and actually delaying it by a lot. That was a choice. Thinking about it right now, I should have played defensively. I don't know. If I come back to this matchup once again and I'm again in the same situation, I still don't know what I would have done, because I need to progress my game in order to finish it. Anyway, let's go to game number 3. Game number 3 against Affinity. This wasn't a great hand. This wasn't a great hand either. The only reason I actually kept it is because I saw that the opponent is playing around Whip Flare. Around, I mean, they're keeping a hand knowing if they have Whip Flare or not. So because I have double Priest of Titania, there you go, where first Whip Flare is out. I decided that I'm going to cast keep the hand. I do have a fetch land to cast Lush Portico. I go from there. When the opponent tapped here for a blue and red, I actually got terrified. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to get Whip Flared again. Luckily I didn't. So I'm able to do my little crazy things. I actually thought I was able to cast Azuri here, but I miscalculated that I wasn't creating mana. I was pretty much mana neutral at this point. I played very risky here. You can see I'm still trying to cast my whole hand. I'm trying to cast both Nature's Rhythm in order to get my Azuri in and have protection from another Whip Flare. I got traumatized with the first one. So I played very poorly. You can see here that I'd go for Devoted Druid in order to kill them next turn. It was very bad. But still I got lucky. The opponent killed both my Priest and my Devoted Druid. Here it's the time to cast a Collector Oof. I got lucky once, I don't think I would get lucky twice. So I had to make sure I would be able to do what I had to do. The opponent correctly, once more, named Kyrian Ranger with his Pithing Needle, because I didn't have 4 mana, and I did have a Nature's Rhythm in the graveyard. But this time, I got lucky, and I got out of it. If you're ever in my shoes, please play a bit better than I did. I played recklessly. They tried to Metallic Rebuke. I have been Metallic Rebuked so many times that I don't think I will be countered ever again. And that's it for this matchup, and we're going to the next one. Round number 2, no lands. I can't keep that, can I? So we mulligan to 6, mediocre hand, didn't have anything. So I'm going to keep this hand because it has a Vexing Bauble and a Court of Calling. White, blue land. I'm thinking either Control or Jeskai. That's the most obvious thing. First cast Vexing Bauble, and then I'm casting Devoted Druid, because if they had a Solitude, I wanted to be able to protect my Devoted Druid. And here we go. Isocron Scepter combo with Orim's Chant. Many players would actually concede at this point. Sometimes I do concede too, out of boredom, out of many things. But because I had a Court of Calling in hand, and I'm very stubborn, I actually continue to play the game. I can bypass an Isocron Scepter by playing an Eladamri. Therefore, I can play the top of my deck. And now you'll ask me, okay, you can play your deck, but how are you going to win? Well, I'll have to draw my 1-1 Boseiju, won't I? So I'll keep on playing until that point. And unless the opponent shows me that they have a way to kill me, sorry, I'm not going to concede just out of boredom. And that's what I actually did. I keep on casting the top of my deck at this point. This is going to be a long game. But it's interesting to see how it can go. At least that's what I believe. If I actually draw also a Kyrian, it would be even better, because Kyrian Ranger would be able to untap me Eladamri on extra time, and I'll be able to cast the top of my deck once more. Once more, you're going to see the power of Eladamri with this deck. There you go, Kyrian Ranger, the card I want. We're casting Kyrian Ranger off the top, another Cauldron. I can't do anything with that Cauldron. So I'll have to use the synergy of Lush Portico with Kyrian Ranger to dig deeper in my deck. I'm bouncing back Yavimaya. I have no reason to give them green mana, do I? So I'm bouncing it back. I have a lot of mana, I just cannot cast anything else. Teferi, they bounce back Eladamri, and now we are not in such a good spot because they have a lock. I cannot play anything on instant speed, I cannot play anything on sorcery speed, and they have a Teferi. I cannot attack, So my only way out is a Boseiju. Back in the past, when I used to run 2 Bosejus, things were a bit better. Right now, I do have to get lucky and draw the right Boseiju. Here, I played my Temple Garden. That was a mistake. I should have bounced my last Portico and recast it to fix my top deck even more. I need to dig fast. Narset is also in their hand. Very bad. At this point, if they cast a Days Undoing, I'm conceding and I'm going to game number 2. But they didn't, so I kept on playing. How many times did I get Orims chanted this league? If anyone has the patience and actually can count it, please write to me in the comment section of in the comments down below, because I would like to find out. I was swearing a lot during this time. But no, they have no way to kill me so far. I'm not going to concede. Orange chant, once more. Vizier, a great draw. Days Undoing, and I'm like, oh my god, this is hell. I'm very pissed off at this point. And here's a winning condition too, a Hall of Storm Giants. Inside, I'm thinking, okay, if I don't draw a Boseiju the next maximum 2 turns, I'm going to concede there's nothing I can do. Eladamri, that's a great start. Solitude, yes, this is a second winning condition. The death theme is imminent in my eyes. They are attacked. I'm not going to block. They're killing my Heritage Druid. I have no idea why they killed the Heritage Druid. I mean, okay, they created a mana for Wrath. I haven't seen any Wraths yet, though. I do know that they have a Wrath here, and they haven't exiled any Wraths. So I think they have a Wrath. And here we go. I draw my one-off Boseiju. So this is my last chance of actually winning. And I'm hoping that the opponent's going to be reckless and be so sure that they actually have this this game locked, that I'm actually going to play it in their end turn. 7 plus 3, it's 10. I was on 12. I'm going to block in case they do have a Flage, because I see they do have red mana. End of their turn, Scepter, go, get out of here. Usually they run 1, by the way. I haven't seen many lists running 2 in the main. So what are we going to do first? Eladamri, we have to recreate to fix our board. The opponent is casting Galvanic Discharge on the War Master. I'm okay with that. At this point, I know they have a Wrath. I don't know if that Wrath disappeared. Maybe I've lost count of it. Maybe it disappeared with Days Undoing. I know they're plussing their Teferi. Therefore, they should be able to cast Wrath of the Skies in my turn. That's what I was expecting them to do, but they did not. And as soon as I saw them that they cast a Consult the Stars, I'm like, okay, maybe I have this. Yes, did I get lucky? Yes, I did get lucky. But that's it. I'm actually going to win through a lock of Isochrone Scepter, Teferi, Narset, Days Undoing, and still we managed to win game number 1, and we're going to game number 2. I'll speed up the rest of the game. Game number 2 against Jeskai Control. I'm keeping this hand for Heroic Intervention, pretty much. I do have a... Sorry, let's get this right out of the way. I do have a Kyrian Ranger, Elvis Mystic, and Zazuri. Devoted Druid was an awesome draw. And I'm going to progress accordingly. There you go, I drew the Boseiju. I will try not to play the Boseiju, unless 100% necessary. It's a key card in this matchup if they're trying to lock you out with the Isochrone Scepter. 3 mana, Narset. They're going to minus and they're going to get another Narset. And here I will try play my Azuri. My Kyrian Ranger is going to attack Narset in order to make sure that it dies if it minuses again. The Orims chanted me. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to kill them this turn. They're passing the turn. 5 mana. I know they do have a Wrath of the Skies in hand, so I'm expecting them to cast a Wrath of the Skies, but I'm well prepared for that. So, Heroic Intervention, it protects everything. End of the turn, I'm going to Court of Calling for 2, I'm going to get my Vizier, and I'm going to finish the game. Let's go to round number 3. Round number 3, we're 2-0 up. Unknown opponent. The first hand I couldn't keep. I didn't have 2 lands in order to go off. So I decided once more to keep a hand just with Mana Dogs and Vexing Bauble. If Vexing Bauble is useless, I don't need it against this deck, I will actually crack it and draw a card. So there's no problem with that. What is a problem though, is that I'm probably facing again another Jeskai deck. There you go, I see Galvanic Discharge and immediately know that it's going to be another Jeskai deck. Still, I'll play my Priest of Titania. It's a choice here. If I chose to play as the Safekeeper over Priest of Titania, it would be a more defensive play. I'm not in for that at this point, because I need to be able to finish the game fast. Here we go, another Orion's Chant. I haven't seen that card enough yet. Oh yeah, I do have to say that during this league, I just wanted to buy the card. If I don't know it, own it, I don't know anymore. Buy it, burn it, rebuy it, reburn it, and then be over with it. I've had enough of it. So I'm just playing the Priest. I couldn't do anything. I played my land. I'm passing the turn. The opponent right here, pardon me, it's going to Prismatic Ending my Priest of Titania. I'm okay with that. And another Orim Chant. 2 so far. Please keep count. More to come. 3 mana, Narset. They actually revealed a stock up from that. 3rd Orim's Chant. Yes, I did want to break my keyboard at this point. I had no chance. But they do have only 2 cards in hand. One of them is a stock up. Okay, that's bad. So I couldn't really concede, could I? There you go. I cast my Cauldron with my Curion. I'm not in a very good spot here, am I? I mean, who would be after 3 Orion's Chant, together with a Days Undoing and an Asset on the board? I don't think anyone would be happy. As soon as they kill my Cauldron, I decide to give up and just try to go to the post-board games with where my hope should be higher to win. So let's go to sideboarding. So we go here, game number 2, 3rd round, against Jeskai Control again. Kyrian Ranger, I kept this hand for the obvious reason of Heroic Intervention. I know they play Wrath, they play Prismatic Endings, they play the Galvanic Discharge, they do have Solitude. Sometimes they run Flage too. So yeah, here you go. Here it was a choice. I could either cast Priest of Titania or Devoted Druid. Obviously, I'm going for the Devoted Druid, because if I draw a Nature's Rhythm, I can finish them on the spot. Furthermore, I can, if they Galvanic Discharge my Devoted Druid, I can use Devoted Druid's ability twice in order to kill my Devoted Druid. Their spell will fizzle, and they won't get the energy points. See, there you go. Little things. That's it. I see they have double wide here with that ugly Sacred Foundry and the Meticulous Archive. So I'm always going to be playing afraid of Wrath of the Skies. It's actually very specific cards that make you lose the matchups. Wrath of the Skies is one of them. Sometimes they do run Supreme Verdict. You cannot dodge that. Here it was another choice. Would I just play my Llanowar Elf, untap my land using Curion and keep the Heroic Intervention up, or actually try to progress my game using Priest of Titania? I chose to go all in, because at this point I have nothing, and it doesn't really matter at this point. If they kill my board as it is, I need much more in order to survive. The opponent here gets rid of, exiles one Orim's Chant. Hooray! One less to deal with, in order to cast Solitude, aiming for my Priest of Titania. For me, that was a clear sign that they had no more removal, and they wanted to remove Priest of Titania on the spot because they knew an unchecked Priest of Titania is a lethal threat for the opponent. together with the Curion Ranger, is almost as good as the Devoted Druid combo. Here I'm going to attack just with the Curion Ranger, because I always want to keep 2 mana up in the opponent's turn in order to be able to cast Heroic Intervention if needed. With my Nature's Rhythm that I drew, I went and got a Priest of Titania, because I have 3 Curion Rangers, 1 Priest of Titania, Heroic Intervention. If I untap, I'm good. I'm perfect. And here's the Wrath of the Skies. And do I have a surprise for them? It always feels so good to cast Heroic Intervention. So, Eladamri was another great draw. I have no reason not to play it, because I can play the top of my deck too. Still though, the top of my deck was just a Disruptor Flute. The main reason I'm bringing Disruptor Flute is to have another way to stop Wrath or stop a or stop a Solitude. And also because sometimes, in this matchup, because it's just the Sky Control, it can also aim for the Isochron Scepter, the Teferi, or Narset. There you go. Narset, another Wrath of the Skies. I don't know what it's going to aim. It goes for the Priest. Why not gain some life? So I'm actually going to pump. What's in exile? A Wrath. So we know that I have no Wraths left at this point. So I just pumped with Azuri in order to gain some life. Why not? I could do it. Did I need the land? I think I have enough mana at this point to do anything I want. Plus I have a Eladamri that can cast the top of my deck easily. The road on the top of my deck was also very, very, very nice. Top deck, draw, call it whatever you want, because it can get rid of Narset, which allows me to attack the opponent in the face. Obviously here I play the untapped Temple Garden. I'm going to put my Devoted Druid on the battlefield. Heritage, why not? And here I'm going to attack the opponent in their face. And as I said, because I'm afraid of Wrath of the Skies always, even though I've seen 2 so far, I'm not going to attack with Azuri because I want to have 3 mana available. In their turn, I'm going to play Road, which is the Path of Exile for Planeswalkers, pretty much. What they got with the Narset was actually a Consult the Star charts. Consult the Star. Come on, easier to say it like that. Another Orim's Chant. Have we lost the count yet? I definitely have. I think it should be close to 10 times I've been Orim's chanted so far. So I cannot attack. I can only defend. I just have to make sure that my board doesn't die. I do keep my Cauldron in hand, not only because the opponent didn't let me play it. I would keep it regardless, because I don't have a reason to play it as it is right now. It can be something useful afterwards. It surely can regenerate any creature on the board, but he can die himself. So it also doesn't let the opponent know what I have in hand. For example, I could have a cord or something. Here the opponent's trying to kill my Zuri using a Galvanic Discharge. I had to do a little bit of math in order to calculate how much energy counters here they could get. Another Orim's Chant. Amazing, isn't it? Oh boy, at least Eladamri can bypass Orim's Chant. You can see what you can do here. I'm going to cast a Skyclave Apparition of the top. Put in play a Skyclave Apparition of the top of the deck using Eladamri's ability. 3 Curion Rangers plus Eladamri. I mean, that's heaven. What more do we want? The reason I untapped in my turn and I went back to 1 land. Yes, I do untap very aggressively with Curion Ranger. It is not right always, but I'm so used to doing it and not getting punished that I keep on doing it. You have to be a little bit careful how you do it. But I want the creature untapped in order to be able to have enough mana either to pump or to regenerate, to have as much mana as possible. The Teferi is going to aim for the Zuri here. Obviously, because the opponent is keeping double white up and they do have 5 energy counters, as you can see, I'm going to regenerate everything. This way, even if they try to wrath me, then nothing will happen. Not only that, and if I go to my turn, I will be able to play my Azuri again, and I can go for infinite damage using the combo. The opponent obviously knew what was happening, and as soon as I regenerated everything and they bounced back Azuri, they probably drew a card that did nothing in order to help them kill some of my creatures, and they conceded the game. So we're going to game number 3. Game number 3 against Jeskai Control, and if you haven't seen enough Orim's chants yet, stick around, we're going to see more. I kept this hand because it has the resilient part of the deck, which is an Agatha Soul Cauldron, Eladamri, which is amazing against the chant, which they do tend to believe that it's going to win the game. I have a War Master and a Nature Rhythm that can be a tutor for anything I need. It can either go and get a Hate Bear or get the missing piece in order to finish them off. I don't need another Nature Rhythm that I had on the top, so that's why I put it on the graveyard. And once more, I remind you, since Nature Rhythm has a secondary ability, let's say, it has the Harmonize here, you're always able to cast it from the graveyard, which is amazing. I do draw my only Vizier. This is not something I liked. I didn't need it in hand. I wanted to be able to tutor it, but I can't really do much about it. The fairy is going to bounce the Cauldron. And I'm not going to take something from their graveyard. I actually took one of my fetches, little things. If they try to Days Undoing me, I don't really want the fetch land back in my deck, do I? No, I don't. So here it was a choice, either to play Agatha Soul Cauldron again, or War Master, or play Eladamri. I chose to play Eladamri because I thought it was way more useful for me to have the information of what do I have on the top deck, rather than trying to progress my game with a War Master and creating tokens. Here's Sun Cleanser, great top deck. It stops 2 cards from their deck, 2 very important cards. One is a mass removal. And here we have, first I'm going to play Safekeeper before I play the Cauldron. I'm too afraid to attack with Sun Cleanser because it's too valuable. Maybe I'm playing too defensively. Because, for example, if they had, I don't know what they could have. I don't want to find out what they had. The Sun Cleanser couldn't die very easily. I still chose not to deal that 1 damage in attack. I was playing a bit afraid here. But let's be honest, I was traumatized at this point. The fairy's out of here, so we know they can only play on sorcery speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I had a choice. Either I could just try to assemble the combo and finish the game fast by casting a Nature Rhythm from hand or from the graveyard. I don't know, remember what I did. I did it actually from hand. There you go. So as I said, I had a choice. I chose to finish the game fast. You cannot outgrind a control deck. We draw a card, we discard a card. That's a good one. I want both my Vizier and my Road to stay in hand. Days Undoing. I'm going to take the Teferi out of here. And we have a full hand again. That was a very nice gift from the opponent. Another Orim's Chant. There we go. Amazing, right? They have 6 cards in hand. I have 7 cards in hand. I did put Eladamri under the Cauldron to use its ability. And here we are. This Disruptor Flute has the name of either Teferi or the Scepter on it. I'm just telling you now. And as it is right now, I'm very close to finishing them off. They try to kill my Cauldron. I'm okay with that. It was actually one of the few things they could kill at this point because I have a Safekeeper and a Sun Cleanser. So, end of their turn. I'm actually gonna code. Actually, first I put a Disruptor Flute aiming Orium's chant. Yes, I was thinking maybe I should just tutor at the end of their turn. But then I realized if they had another chant, they could buy another turn. They have a full hand. No, I don't need to do much. I don't need to tutor right now. What I actually need to do is stop them from being able to deprive me of another turn of the deck. I think these games are also a very good way of showing to the elf community, because they've asked me in the past, why I do not play Orium's chant in elves. What the card actually does, it buys you a turn, but does it actually give you the win? No, it didn't. Do you see how many times the Orium's chanted me so far? And I still managed to win. You need to have a clock. You need to have a plan. I beat the opponent that was playing Scepter and the chant underneath. If you don't have a clock in order to beat the opponent, you're never going to win. And I have found that when I was playing the card in Elves, it was actually doing that. It was buying me a turn, but the next turn, many times, I wasn't ready in order to go for the kill. That's it. Let's go to the next match. Here we are, next one. Now round number 4, if I remember correctly. Bad hand so far. I mulligan hard. I decide to keep this hand. I'm going to play my Kyrian Ranger. I have Kyrian Ranger, Priest of Titania, Azuri. That's a good hand. And thankfully, I don't see blue, white, or red. I see something different. It's not like I'm having a good time seeing those cards, but still. The opponent is probably got mono black. I do see a Necrodominance coming. There you go. I'm a psychic, I guess, deep inside. I don't think my chances of winning at this point are very high, because I did have to mulligan a lot. Still, I'm going to try. 1, 2. Dorothy. They're going to kill my bow. With the Bowmaster, they're going to kill my Priest of Titania. I've had enough. I lost. Let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 against Mono Black Necrodominance combo deck. I stopped bringing Sanctifier in it because I realized it doesn't do anything. I realized it because I was losing more than I was winning when I was playing it. Therefore, here we are. Vexing Bull is an amazing card against them, even though it doesn't have it desynergizes with Forces of Vigor that I'm bringing in against, because I want to kill their Necrodominance, the enchantment. Still, it's exceptional against their spikes and their Forces of Despair. So they actually have to pay mana in order to cast things. Here, I chose to go for Skyclave Apparition on the Dorothy instead of actually casting my Nature's Rhythm, because I don't have a graveyard if I do that, and they take my Nature's Rhythm with Dorothy, which is not the place I want to be. At this point, I'm not in a very good spot. They do have 3 cards in hand. They do have an illusion token attacking me. So now I'm going to cast my Nature's Rhythm for 2. What I get at this point is something that I don't even know. I went for the Devoted Druid because, statistically speaking, with the amount of tutors I ran, the amount of payoffs I have, the chances of me either drawing a Vizier or a finisher are high, and I could finish the game on the spot. Furthermore, I don't want to go for a Priest of Titania because they play Bowmasters, and I don't really want to lose my Priest of Titania. Devoted Druid is a 2 toughness creature, which is really, really, really nice. Also, from the way the opponent is playing, you see they have 3 cards in hand. They do nothing. It's like they're waiting for me to tap my Cauldron to put a creature underneath and target my Kyrian Ranger in order to kill Kyrian Ranger. And I'm not going to let them do that. Especially when with Slash Portico, I see that on the top of my deck I do have a Court of Crawling. I don't need to do anything. Just in my turn, I'm going to tutor for 2. I'm going to get my Vizier and finish them off with the Nature's Rhythm that I have in the graveyard. So here we go. Nature's Rhythm. I think you know the rest. I'm going to speed up the rest of the game, and we're going to game number 3. Actually, didn't make a mistake when I was right now when I was describing what happened in the game. I actually chose to go and cast my my Nature Rhythm from the graveyard in order to get to tutor for the Vizier, because then I was able to tutor on instant speed using Code of Calling and get to the Azuri, which made my kill easier. These are little things that you should keep in mind. The easy way out would be to cast the Code of Calling from hand and then go and cast the Vizier from the graveyard, etc., etc. Still, it's better to do it properly and have the interaction that Code of Calling can give you in order to do whatever you need. Game number 3 against Mono Black Necrodominance. This time though we are playing second. Even though this is not an ideal hand, I don't really want to mulligan harder. It's a very, very, very bad hand, to be honest. Because as I've said in the past, your true drops are the ones that are winning the game. Therefore, I have no true drops at this point. Not only don't I have 2 drops, but I also draw my second Azuri. Things are not looking good. Here I choose to crack it and go for my Lush Portico before the Dorothy comes into play, because I don't want to put any of my graveyard in exile with counters on it for Dorothy to cast. It's counters they're called, aren't they? Let me see. Void counters, yes, correct. Here I start to have a little bit of hope that I can win the game, but boom, that was my death. I never understood how good Ashiok is against this version of Elves until this matchup, because I had a really good hand. I was just missing one card in order to go off, and right now they have shut down half of my deck. And isn't that ironic? I just drew the Vizier. I mean, if they didn't kill my Devoted Druid, they would actually be dead. But it was a very nicely timed Soul Spike by the opponent. Not only can't I tutor for my creatures, but I can't even fetch. So yeah, we're not in a very good spot. Right now I have 4 mana. Bowmasters, targeting Vizier. Vizier is out of the game. I don't have any more Viziers. I will never be able to combo them. Here, I should have blocked Shield Red with my Elvis Mystic and actually regenerated. I don't know why I didn't do it. I just couldn't handle it. That was a mistake. In the end, I don't think many things would have changed, to be honest. I would just have one more turn to do something. But as you see here, they do have Necrodominance. Necrodominance together with Shield Red is a very lethal combination for the opponent, because they have so many more cards in hand to pick the cards they need to keep at the end. And yeah, I just conceded. Do you see these triggers? I'm leaving you with the triggers. Let's go to the last round. Last round, bets. Is it going to be another Jeskai Control deck? So let's go and see. This time we're playing first. This was an okay hand, but it didn't have any payoffs. So I mulligan, and I do have the perfect hand. I have my 1-drop, that can be the bait. I have Nature's Rhythm, I'm fine. Devoted Druid, I see a Spire Bluff Canal. So my first thought initially was that that's actually Affinity. And then I see Lorien Revealed and a Hello Fountain. Guess what? It's another Jeskai deck. So here, for 4 mana, I'm going to get another Devoted Druid in my turn. And I will try to go off next turn. You never yield in these matchups. The opponent here is creating tons of energy, which means only one thing. If they manage to untap, they probably have the Wrath of the Skies. So I cannot let the game go for long. Nature's Rhythm from the graveyard. I will try to get my Vizier. I do have an Elvish War Master in hand. I hope their blue mana is not going to be a counter, and I'll try to go for the kill. The first part was successful. I did manage to get my Vizier. And here, I will try to get 2 mana. I got 2 mana. they're dead. I'm speeding up the rest of the game, and we're going to game number 2. Game number 2 against Jeskai Control once again. I'm going to keep this hand. It has the combo, it has a Devoted Druid, it has a Cauldron. I'm fine with that. The opponent played this team event standing. For me, it means that they had the Galvanic Discharge, or it was just that they wanted to cast the Rolorian Revealed, but I do believe that they did have a discharge in hand. But here they do nothing. And I will try to go for it. Even if the Vizier lands and then they counter the rest, I do have tons of mana in order to get everything I needed to rebuild from scratch. So with my first mana, I will go and get my Sylvan Safekeeper, because I do want to finish the game on the spot. And with the second Nature's Rhythm, I will go and get my Zuri. And if anything goes wrong, I can also go and get a Ladarme and go on from there. Here the opponent opted to target the wrong creature with the Path of Exile. They went for the Vizier. The right play in this situation, I shouldn't say the right play, should I? Anyway, the right play should be with a Tutor for 2, for the Nature's Rhythm Tutor for 2. They should actually kill my Devoted Druid, try to path my Devoted Druid, instead of actually pathing my Vizier. Because right now they gave me the chance to create infinite mana, and I am the one, once again, playing the game in their terms. I decide what I want to tutor for and how I want to finish everything. And you know what happens. Thank you very much if you reach the end of it. If by now you don't know how to play against Jeskai, sorry, I don't want to do this again. I've been Orim chanted enough for one league. Anything you need, leave any comments in the comment section down the video. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to speed up the rest of the game. Bye-bye.